Did you hear about the two artists in the Old West who had a painting contest? It ended in a draw. What's up, nannies? How you doing? Hopefully you are a fan of this text because it was really well written. Even if you disagree, it was a really well written argument. Clearly stated, we know what position this person is on. We know what side they're on. And the way they ended it, you talk about an impact statement. That last sentence of the final thing was so powerful. But that's the way it is. And there's no dignity in clinging to an illusion. You illusioned people, clinging to your illusions. You have no dignity. I thought it was really powerful. I really mean it. It was like a really well written. It was good. It was good. Very good. Very good. Professional author and all. Well, what are we doing today? Well, today we're going to handle this text in a little more of exploring sense, okay? And I will do the same thing I did last time because I think we seem to like that. First of all, let's hide this. What I did last time is I said, hey guys, I'm going to give you the basic information about the text. I will give you your assignment. And then I will say, stop. And you will stop the video if you're confident that you're ready to move on and just get your work done. And then if you have questions, or if you're like, I'm not ready to stop, I need to see part of the lesson, good. Stick around or come back and I'll work through a little bit of it with you guys to give you a tour. And that way you don't feel like, I need more. All right? Good. I will be the nanny teacher. Okay, let's look at the first thing we're talking about today. So, last time what we talked about was comparing texts, concept, vocabulary, first read, and comprehension check. And I'll be honest with you guys. This lady's like I said, she makes a good argument for banning sodas. She's like, hey, what's the big deal? The government controls all kinds of things, like how fast you drive. I thought this argument was particularly good about driving 90 miles an hour. She said there are some people who can drive 90 miles an hour safely all their life. But that's not the point. The point is most people can't. And so we need a law to ban driving 90 miles an hour. And it was like, there are some people who can drink a 32-ounce soda and it's not a big deal because they do it once a year for a chugging contest or something. And then they don't eat a lot of sugar the day before or the day after. They can handle it. They don't get addicted. But that's not the point. Most people in our country have a problem with sugar. We have one of the highest rates of obesity in the world. We have one of the highest rates of obesity in the United States as Tennesseans. So, yeah, there might be some truth to that. She has a very convincing argument. I'll leave it to you to decide whether you agree with it or not. And I'm not going to tell you what my opinion is. I'm just saying she had a good argument, really. I may agree with it and I may not, but she did a great job forming it. So let's look at what we're doing today. Today we're looking at research and close reading the text. Research and close reading the text. That's it. Okay? Research, you're going to explore a topic of your own choice related to this. And then close read the text. You're going to go through and actually highlight specific parts of the paragraphs. And if you don't have any questions, you may get started. Please remember to use full and complete sentences when answering questions. You may stop the video if you're ready to do your own thing, or just stick around. Stop. Okay, those of you who stuck around, or those of you who are coming back, let's look at research. So in the research tab, it says research to clarify. That means get clarity on, to understand better. Choose at least one unfamiliar detail from the text. Briefly research that detail. In what way does the information you learned shed light on an aspect of the text? So they want you to pick something in here that you're like, what is that? Something your mind came to and went, what? This is more than just a word, okay? It's not like I don't know what the word difficult means. I will look it up in the dictionary and I will put it here. No, it means like a concept in here. So where's one of the, there's a couple of concepts here. They talked about status quo bias. And you're like, they kind of explain it here, but maybe it would be more interesting to you to read what other people have to say about what status quo bias is or what optimism bias is. Like, you might understand what optimism is, you might understand what bias is, but what about the concept in psychology? What does that mean? You could also talk about Mills, John Stuart Mills. You might research something about his life. She talked a lot about Mills in this piece, actually, and referenced him, and she used him to she used his argument as sort of like a punching bag, right? So that she could have something to kind of argue against. Boom, 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 boom. So she says, here's his argument. I say this, and I say this, and with this I disagree, and with this I agree, and where he doesn't. So that's a really interesting way of her citing evidence and using it. So you might read about John Stuart Mills. You might look about his harm principle. That would be an idea, something you could research. So do a Google search on it. Do a DuckDuckGo search if you can. Probably banned on your computer, though it's awesome. And you can do what you can there. After you research to clarify, answer this question: how does it help you understand the text better? And write your notes in here. So the next thing you will do is research to explore. Write a research question that you might find out more about the concept. What? Let me try again. Write a research question that you might use to find out more about the concept of the nanny state. This is only a question you will write. You do not need to answer this question. This is just for your brain to have a chance to ask the questions it wants to ask. Like, in what other ways are there nanny state laws? Or at what point does a law become a nanny law? And at what point can people have their own freedom? Why do we have a drinking age? Why do we have a driving age? Why isn't the driving age 22 and why isn't the drinking age 7? Like, I don't know. Maybe these are questions you have. Maybe they're not. But you're going to write a question that's related to this concept of the nanny state. And after you do the research, we're going to close read. So follow me to close read for a bit. Okay. So number 1 says, the model from paragraph 16 shows two sample annotations along with questions and conclusions. Close read the passage and find another detail to annotate, then write a question and your conclusion. So they're saying, look at this. This is showing you how to do the work. They say, look at this thing. This is an example of what you should do. So what they did is there's a paragraph here that says, of course, what people fear is that this is just the beginning. That today is soda, tomorrow it's the guy standing behind you making you eat your broccoli, floss your teeth, and watch PBS NewsHour every day. And what this person did to annotate is they highlighted a couple of things. They annotated and they made a note. The author lists activities. Okay, so here, something they noticed about the text. Highlight. And this person typed, the author lists activities. And then the student wrote a question. Why does the author list these activities? And then the student thought about the question that they came up with. They said, why not author? And they said, maybe they wrote this list of activities because each activity is considered good for people and it's something we usually do at home. And maybe the list is exaggerating the idea of government controlling our behavior. Okay, so that's the deal. Highlight something, just label what it does or what it is, ask a question about it, and answer your question. Okay. And it says to do that for another detail, any detail in the text. So maybe you might say, John Stuart Mill wrote in 1859. Maybe you highlight this and you type in the author references on another old work of literature. Because it's over 200 years old. almost 200. And then my question might be, why? My question here is why? Why use such an old author? And I think about it and go, really, why? Why might she use such an old author? Maybe it's to show that like this is an argument that's been going on for a long time. That might be it. Maybe it shows this argument has been going on for a long time. Now that's my question, my answer, my notice. I'm copying this, I'm saving it, and then here in my notebook, I'm going to paste it. So I have a note there and a note here, okay? Copy and paste. You can two-finger click if you need to copy and paste. You can press Control-C to copy and Control-V to paste. You can do that, and there you go. I'm done with that one. So 2, for more practice, read the text and complete the close read sections. That number 2 is just saying do number 3, which is dumb. I know. That's like, I never understand why they do this. For more practice, read the text and then do number 3. It's like, okay. So just do number 3. So they want you to revisit each of these sections. Okay, close read paragraph 1. I want you to do that. Hold on a second. You guys hold on. Yeah, so that took me a second, but basically what they want you to do here is they want you to go to paragraph 1. Whoop, paragraph 1, here I am. In paragraph 1, mark the question that the author does not answer. So go back over. There's a couple of questions here. I see a question mark here, question mark here. Let's go back and read this paragraph and find out which question the author doesn't answer. I'm going to copy the question here. I'll put an A for annotate because it's the annotate thing. And I'm going to put the question they don't answer. And then there's a question. Why might the author have begun the article with several unanswered questions? And I'm going to try to answer that for myself. Why? And then conclude. Conclude. I'm going to go ahead and write my conclusion. What effect do these questions have on the reader? What effect do they have on you? If you were to put a bunch of questions in your intro paragraph, what would that do? Okay, you're going to do that for paragraphs 8 through 10. You're going to do that for paragraph 14. And then you are done. All right? Get done what you need to get done. Rewind if you need to rewind. And I will see you on the other side. Peace out.